Social services treat many children and families badly and abuse their power to the fullest extent. This is not about isolated mistakes or individual cases, but about a recurring pattern in which state authority is exercised without real transparency, without consequences, and without sufficient accountability. When children protest, when parents speak up, when people refuse to accept unjust decisions, they are punished. Not met, not listened to, punished. Children who express resistance, who say, "I want to go home," who run away because they can no longer endure the situation, are not met with understanding, but with harsher control. They are moved to even worse placements, to institutions such as SIS, where their freedom is further restricted and where the child's voice is, in practice, silenced. Parents who protest risk fines, legal proceedings, debt, or permanently losing the possibility of ever getting their children back. This is not protection, it is retaliation. This pattern repeats itself again and again. That is why I do not believe one can or should fight this system alone. Anyone who stands alone against social services is an easy target. A single parent who says enough is enough can be isolated, stigmatized, and punished. A child who says, "I do not want to be placed," is not listened to. The child is controlled, locked in, and deprived of their voice. Even small groups can be crushed. 5 people, 10 people are not enough. They can be silenced. They can be broken. But power has limits. You cannot imprison an entire people. You cannot fine an entire nation. You cannot place hundreds of thousands of children in institutions. When people become many, organized, and united, abuse of power loses its strength. Social services do not care about our tears. They do not care about children's cries. They do not care about parents who are destroyed by longing and loss. They do not care about trauma, attachment, or lifelong harm. History shows that they do not even care when people die as a result of the consequences. The only thing that truly frightens an abusive system is collective resistance. United public opinion, public scrutiny, massive sustained pressure. We have already seen this. When parents organized and protested together a few years ago, those in power became afraid. So afraid that the Prime Minister himself felt compelled to speak out. Instead of taking responsibility, the movement was discredited, labeled foreign, religious, or extremist. But this has never been about religion. It has never been about hate. It has been about something much simpler and much more dangerous to those in power: parents demanding their children back. A way to avoid examining systemic failure. By law, the mission of social services is to support families, to help, to prevent harm. Yet we see a system that, in practice, first removes children and only then possibly offers support, if at all. This is a fundamental failure. This is also about democracy. An authority that can make life-altering decisions without real transparency, without functioning appeal mechanisms, without personal accountability, is a threat to the rule of law. When children's testimonies are ignored, when parents are automatically treated with suspicion, when criticism is punished, we have crossed the line of what can be called a protection system. Therefore, it is not enough to fight alone. Symbolic protests are not enough. If this is to end, it requires massive mobilization. A long-term, peaceful, but uncompromising demonstration where power resides, at Parliament, at the government. Where we are many, where we say the same thing, where we refuse to be divided, silenced, or intimidated. We must understand this. Alone, you are crushed. Together, we become impossible to ignore. Parents, children, grandparents, People without children of their own who still understand that this is wrong. This is not a matter of the affected versus the unaffected. It is a matter of what kind of society we accept. Children are harmed. Adults are broken. Families are torn apart. This is human suffering that can no longer be reduced to individual cases or explained away as exceptions. We are many who see this, very many. And in a democratic country, power should fear the people, not the other way around. Therefore, we must speak with one voice together. Not whisper, not beg, demand. Because if we do not, this will never end.